Hi guys! Today I'm going to show you how to build this miniature queen-size bed with a modern geometric headboard design. This is a very simple project requiring just a few square dowels and some jumbo popsicle sticks. I'll also show you how to make the bedding and the rose petals out of some surprisingly ordinary supplies. Let's get started. To build a headboard you need some square dowels. I'm using these thin 1/4-inch dowels. You'll need 4 of them in total for this project. Take one and cut out a 5-inch length. I'm just using a miter handsaw to cut this out. I also cut out 2 3.5-inch sections. Glue the 2 shorter lengths vertically under the 5-inch piece. As usual, I'm just using some Elmer's wood glue. Then I grab a bunch of jumbo popsicle sticks. Because these are quite thin, I'm going to double them up. Add some wood glue to one stick, stack another one on top of it, and use some binding clips to clamp them together. This will help prevent any warping. And then I cut off the 2 round ends so I end up with a 4.5-inch piece. Position it inside the headboard frame 3/4 of an inch away from the bottom. Then use that miter saw again and cut out 4 1-inch pieces from the dowel. Add a drop of wood glue to the end of one piece. Add on 2 more pieces. Squeeze some more wood glue on top of that and add on the last piece to finish off the rectangle. Make 3 of these. Position all 3 inside the frame. This gives you an idea of what the design will look like. Using more of the thin square dowel, cut out 4 1/3-inch pieces. Add them in between each of the rectangles using some wood glue. Make sure these little guys are centered midway up the rectangle. This will help make sure everything is symmetrical. Cut out 6 more 1/3-inch pieces. Add 3 to the tops of the rectangles and 3 to the bottoms. Again, make sure to center them on the rectangles. Look how pretty that is. Okay, the headboard is all done. Now we need to build the rest of the bed frame. To make a longer jumbo popsicle stick, I stack 2 together and cut off the round end. Then glue those 2 flat ends together. Make 2 of these so we can stack them for thickness. Make sure to stagger these 2 about an inch so the joint is at a different area on each stick. That will ensure that this piece won't snap at the glue joints. When that's dry, cut out a 6.5-inch length. Make 2 of these. These will form the long sides of the bed frame. Then cut out 2 6.5-inch lengths from the square dowels. Glue one to each of the long popsicle sticks. This creates the ledge that will hold up the mattress. Add glue to each end of the popsicle stick area on the headboard and attach the long frame pieces. Make sure the dowels we just glued on face inward. Then cut out another 4.5-inch popsicle stick, double it up, and glue it to the open end of the frame. This closes the entire bed frame up. For the front 2 legs of the bed, cut out 2 3/4-inch pieces for more dowels. Then glue them to each end of the front of the frame. Next, grab a bunch of coffee stirrers. Cut them down to a length of 4 1/4 inches. I ended up using 8 of these in total. Glue them to the inside of the bed frame. Make sure they sit on the ledges that we added to the 2 long sides. The bed frame is all complete. Now let's paint it. I'm going to use this dark brown paint for an espresso look. I add it everywhere including the inside of the frame. Painting the inside is completely unnecessary, but I do not play around when it comes to minis. This is how the frame looks with just one coat. It works if you're going for a rustic look, but I want it darker, so I go in with some more paint in those light areas. There, that looks better. Then to seal in the paint, I brush on a few coats of polyacrylic. This adds a really nice sheen to the wood. I make sure to cover the inside too because I don't want the brown paint rubbing off on the white mattress. Here I'm just adding in the mini mattress and 2 pillows. I made them using the exact same steps as in my no-sew mini mattress and pillow tutorial, so make sure to check that out. Then for the bedding, I grabbed an old dress shirt. I cut off one sleeve. Cut it open. Now you have a nice big piece of fabric to work with. With that, I cut out a 9 by 9-inch square. I'm just using a rotary cutter and a ruler to get a really nice clean cut. I cut out another square out of some beige chiffon fabric. It's exactly the same size as the first square. I'm going to be using some no-sew fabric glue here because I am not breaking out my sewing machine. I add some glue to one side of the dress shirt piece, line it up with the chiffon, press it down. Do this all around the perimeter of the square. I just make sure to leave a 2-inch area open. We're going to use this gap to flip this blanket inside out. Be patient here so you don't rip the seams, although this fabric glue is pretty strong. Then at this gap area, fold in both sides of the fabric and glue it down. Iron out all the edges for a clean, crisp look, and the blanket is done. You place it on the finished bed in any style you like. I'm folding up the blanket here so you can see the foot of the bed. Almost there guys, last part. Let's make the rose petals. I first grab some red scrapbook paper. Honestly, the thinner the paper, the better. I take a regular paper hole punch and punch out a ton of tiny little circles. Soak them in some water for a few minutes until they're soft. Then grab one and rough it up a bit so it's wrinkled. I made a ton of these. Let them dry for a few minutes, and as you see, they retain their shape. Then just sprinkle them on the bed. It's so romantic. That's it, guys. I hope you liked this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and make sure to subscribe for more. I have 2 new videos every single week. I'll see you next time. Bye!